hello, my dear energetic, joshful students preparing for NSEP exam. The exam is just around the corner, and I'm sure you're practicing your PYQs with full josh. So today we are going to see how you can add two sound levels without using any calculator. Now it may not be obvious to many of the students what the challenge here is. So I'm first going to tell you about the challenge and show you how difficult the math looks like to start with. I mean it may not be obvious, but this is the formula and it's coming from Wikipedia. So we will see how we can add two sound levels. But before that, a little brief introduction about me. My name is Bhavdeep Sethi. I've been converting a lot of physics haters to physics lovers. I always say physics को रट्टा मारोगे तो physics बुरा मान जाएगी. You learn physics with nature. Nature is the best teacher. It is full of physics. All the concepts are deeply embedded in nature. You be close to the nature and you will learn physics. Now, what you should not be expecting in this session, as in all my sessions, is not any spoon feeding. So today I'm going to tell you the shortcut trick here, but I'm not just going to tell you the trick, but because that's equivalent to memorizing. And I hate memorizing. So I'm going to go in depth. I'm going to tell you why this trick works and why it is really it really works. So I'm going to go into the concept of that. If you're looking for spoon feeding, this is not the right session for you. First things first, the dates are out. So the exam, NSEP exam is on 24th of November, 8:30 a.m. If you have not registered yet, you still have time because the forms are open from 21st of August to 14th of September. Nidhi ma'am at VOS has made a very beautiful video on this. She will walk you through step by step. Go through that video before you fill out the form. Similarly, regarding eligibility, I have made many videos. In a nutshell, if you're in 8th and 9th, you are eligible for NSEJS only, no NSEP. 11th, 12th, only NSEP, no NSEJS. In grade 10, based on your date of birth, you have some options. So you can see my videos on those. So pattern is 60 questions, 260 marks, 216 marks. And then basically it's easy, medium, difficult. It's not just about solving the questions, it's also about balancing your time between those easy, medium, difficult questions. Now, what is the challenge here? Let's first see the challenge. So let's look at a situation first. So let's say there is a sound system playing some sound over there, some music over there. And let's say it is playing 70 decibels of sound. What is decibels? We'll cover that. If you don't know, I'll cover that. But think about sound being produced is 70 decibels there. Now let's say there's another music player on this side and that's producing 60 decibels of sound. And I would like to know, okay, how much is the total sound energy I'm getting? How much is the loudness? How loud will I perceive the sound? So to cut it short, let's say there is a 60 decibels of sound source, and there's another one which is, let's say, 70 decibels of sound source. And I play them together. I would like to know how many total decibels that is. Obviously, you would have known by now that it's not going to be 130. You're not going to add it 60 plus 70 is 130. No, that's not how the math works. The math would work something like this. The total of this would be given by this expression where it is 10 times log to the base 10. Yeah, it might sound a little strange, but that's how it's. See, basically, it has been made a logarithmic scale, and we'll cover that the reason for those in upcoming slides. I'm just telling you the challenge here. So 10 log 10, then you'll say 10 to the power this divided by 10. Again, I'll tell you why we are dividing that, but 60 divided by 10 is 6 plus 10 to the power this number divided by 10. So if this was 72, I would have put 7. Let's do that. So let's say this is 72. So if this is 72, I'm going to put this divided by 10, which is 7.2. Now this is the resultant decibels that you will hear. Now you can easily solve it using a calculator or a log table. But the point is, what if I tell you you can solve this in less than 5 seconds? I'm not giving you any ready-made shortcut tricks here. I'm going to explain you why this trick works. So you're not exactly getting the answer, but you'll get a very close approximation to that. So we'll see how this works. So this is the challenge, and I'm telling you, you can solve this in 5 seconds or less. Okay. So first of all, what is intensity? Intensity is a measure of energy per unit area per unit of time. So example being, let's say So let's write down. So an intensity is energy per unit of time per unit of area. So let's say there is light here, and I say the intensity of light here is, let's say, 11 joules per second per square meter. You can understand by the units itself that 11 joules of energy would be falling every second on 1 square meter of area. So let's say I have a table 1 meter by 1 meter, so the area is 1 square meters. So I'm saying, okay, 11 joules is falling every second on that. So that also means if the table was 2 by 2, which is 4 square meters, I would say, okay, 1 square meter gets 11, so 4 square meters would get 44 joules every second. So that's what the intensity means. And same is with, it's energy, any energy. So let's say sound. So let's say there's a music player playing there, and the intensity is 0.1 joules per second per square meter. So that means, let's say this board were 1 square meter area. Let's assume that. So then what I'm saying is the sound energy falling on this every second is 0.1 joules. And joules per second is watts. So you can say the unit can also be expressed as watts per square meter. That's same thing. So that's what intensity is. So what is sound level? Now intensity is not a very useful and kind of like intuitive kind of thingy that can tell you how much the sound is. You can't compare the sound between two sources based on intensity. The numbers are a little tiny and not very meaningful. So in order to convert that to something meaningful that brain can understand, it's easier to digest the information. That intensity is converted into a logarithmic scale. Very easy, do not worry. So let's say there is some intensity, let's say some number I stands for intensity. So how much is the sound level? So that's given by this formula. Level is equal to 10 log to the base 10. It's a logarithmic scale of 10. So intensity, what intensity? The sound source that you're talking about, whose intensity? So there's a sound source playing some music there. It's out joules per second per square meters. You want to convert that to decibels. So this is what we are doing. We're converting to decibels. You know, you've heard of it. So intensity of that sound source divided by a reference intensity level. Now don't worry too much about it. Just for your information, that's 10 to the power minus 12 watts per square meter. But whatever that is, think about there's a benchmark that you're comparing your source of intensity, right? So you compare the sound source with a benchmark, then you convert that to a logarithmic scale that gives you decibel. So if this were in joules per seconds per square meter SI unit, you would get this in decibels. Now sometimes there's a confusion if all these are SI units, why there is a decibel, right? Deci as in 1/10. So 1/10 of it. So decibel, Graham bell. So decibel, so it's named after Mr. Graham Bell, but then deci means 1/10 of it because Bell would not be very, it's going to be still a strong, so smaller number. We'll go for the history later on, but for now, when you're multiplying by 10, you're actually converting into decibel. So assuming these were same, and as a units, obviously that division makes it a fraction anyways, this is going to be in decibel. So that's how the scale works. So that's sound level. So decibels is a unit of sound level. Now, how do you add intensity? So let's say there is 2 joules per centimeter per 2 joules per second per square meter falling here from this side, and 3 joules per second per square meter falling here. So 2 plus 3 is going to be 5. Obviously, it's energy, right? So if 2 watts per square meter fall from here, 3 watts per square meter fall from this side, total is 2 plus 3, 5. So you can add intensities. But you can't do that with decibels. So let's understand. So basically you can add intensities, but you can't add decibels. So what do I do to add decibels? So let's say there is a source of sound with intensity I1 and level corresponding to that is L1. Then another source of sound with intensity I2, level is L2, and I want to add them together. So let's see how that will work. So I have level 1, which is equal to 10 log to the base 10 of I1 by I naught. Right. So we can add intensities. So similarly, L2 would be, let's write it down. So L2 would be 10 log to the base of 10 I2 by I naught. We are saying we can easily add intensities I1 plus I2. So let's find I1 first and I2 first. So this implies I1. And again, it's very simple math. So I'm not going into the details of that. You divide by 10, 10 to the power 0, 10. So basically this is going to be I naught 10 to the power L1 by 10, isn't it? See, there's a 10 here, you divide it here, so L1 by 10, then this log converted here will be 10 to the power L1 by 10, and then you cross multiply that. Similarly, this equation gives you I2 is equal to I naught 10 to the power L2 by 10. So you're getting I1 and I2. You have I1 and I2. You can add them together. So let's add them together. So what is the resultant intensity? Resultant intensity is this plus this. So factoring out I naught, you can get 10 to the power. See how this is coming close to what we did in the first slide. We'll go to the first slide and you'll see what I'm talking about. But let's finish this. So I'm saying, okay, the resultant intensity is this much. So how much is the resultant level? The resultant level is going to be equal to, the resultant level is 10 log to the base 10 of the new intensity divided by the base intensity. So new intensity by base intensity is this plus this. So 10 to the power L1 by 10 plus 10 to the power L2 by 10. Now if you go back a few slides here, look at this. That's exactly what we did. We did 10 log 10, 10 to the power. This divided by 10 was 6. This divided by 10 was 7.2. And this is exactly what you have derived just now. If you call it a derivation, I don't know, but that's the total level. Looks straightforward, right? Isn't it? It does, but then how do I calculate all this fancy math? I would say fancy math because I have opened a simple parenthesis closed with a square parenthesis. Technically it doesn't even make sense, but yeah, mistakes तो होती रहती है ना? हाँ. So that's the math behind it. So let's say there is a source of 50 decibels from here, 70 from here. So I'll say 10 to the power 50 by 10. So 10 to the power 5 plus 10 to the power 70 by 10. So 10 to the power 7. So 10 to the power 5 plus 10 to the power 7. I'll add them up, find the log of it, multiply by 10. I get decibels. You can do that, but need some tools like calculator, log tables. But what if I don't have them? What if I don't have those? So what can I do? I can do things. So let's make adding them easy. So let's say I have two sources of sound. So one is 60, another is also 60. Let's start with a simple case, 60 and 60. Both are 60. So what would you do? You would say the resultant level is 10 log 10, 10 log 10, 10 to the power 6 plus 10 to the power 6. Why 10 to the power 6? Because remember I had 60. So 60 divided by 10. That's what goes here. So yeah. Cool. So you can use calculator, but let's simplify because before we even think of calculator. So this is 10 log 10 apple plus apple, two apples. Orange plus orange, two oranges. Pen plus pen, two pens. 10 to the power 6 plus 10 to the power 6, 2 10 to the power 6. So 10 to the power 6 times of 2. Now log AB is log A plus log B. So log AB is log A plus log B. So let's say 10 log to the base 10, 10 to the power 6 plus 10 log 10 of 2. Now, okay, if you just pause a little here and think about it, isn't this 60 itself? Isn't this 60? Think about this. So log A to the power B, B comes here. So this is what I'm saying. So log A to the power B is same as B times log A, isn't it? That's very obvious, right? So if you're saying this thingy, you take the 6 here, you multiply here, you get 60. 60 log 10 base 10, log of 10 to base 10 is 1. This becomes 1. So this is 60. Oh, that was the original decibels I had. And what you're adding there, you're adding 10 times log 2. Log 2 is 0.3, something very close to 0.3. 0.3 times 10 is 3. So what you get is 63. So 60 decibels here, the 60 here, you're getting 63, right? But if you think about it, we started with 60 decibels, and I got 60 here plus 363. What if it was 70 and 70? Everything would have remained the same. This would be 7 makes it 70 plus 373. Mind blowing, isn't it? If you had 22, so this would be 22 plus 3, 25. If you had 33.95, 33.95 plus 3, 36.95. I mean, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, okay, Bhavdeep sir, why are you trying to confuse us? Because it will not always be the same that it is 30 and 30. It may be different. We'll come to that. But this is the starting point of something very amazing. What this is telling me is if you have two sound sources of same decibels, you add those levels, you get three more. That's it. Whatever that original level was, three more than that. 100 and 100, 103. 101 and 101, 104. Come on, this is so mind blowing, so amazing. If you have two same sound sources, equal levels, the resultant is that level plus three. So far, are you clear? Give me a thumbs up or write in the chat box, comment box. So far, is it clear? Okay. Now let's say you might say, okay, what if this was not 60 and 60, 70 and 70? What if they were different? So let's work on those. So let us say, and I'll erase a little of this so that I have some room here. So I'll erase this. Or maybe I'll not erase. Let's keep it here so that we can have a reference point here. So 63. Let us say the sound was, and I'll enclose in this so that we don't make a clutter here. So let's say it was 60 and 65. Let's say 60 and 65. So what would you get? You will get 10 log 10, 10 to the power 6.5, right? 6.5 plus 10 to the power 6. So I'm adding two sources of 65 and 6. So think about it, if they were both 65, the answer would be 68, right? 65, 65, 68. Now because your one of them is 65, the other one is 60, the answer would be less than 68. Can we agree on that? Because had this been 6.5, the answer was clear cut 68. Because this is lesser than 6.5, I would have something less than 68. So one thing is clear, 65 and 60 will not be greater than 68. It will be less than 68. So we are getting closer to our estimations here. So if you have two different sound sources, you take the higher one, add 3 to that, the resultant will be less than that number, isn't it? That's making common sense now. So had this been 6.5, 6.5, the total would be giving us 68, but now it is getting less than 68. So 70, maybe 67 point something, 66 point something, we don't know. So here is something that you may have to think about. What if there was zero, right? So what if this was zero, right? So if the difference was zero, if the difference between them was zero, we are saying the level would be 3 up, right? 65 and 65. So let's say it was 65, or let's make some easy numbers because 5 is not right. So let's say it was 70 and 70. So what is the difference between these two? The difference between them is 0. So I would say, how much would I add to 70? I will add 3 to that. We all agree on that. The answer would be 73. If the difference is 0, the answer would be 3 more. But what if I tell you it was 70 and 68? So can we expect that the answer would be less than 73? So how much would that be? So here is where you can use your calculator one time and verify this. If the difference between them is 2, you will have to add 2. So 670 and 68 so will contribute to making it as 72. So little thing you may have to memorize for now, but I would encourage you try yourself. If the difference between them is 2, the answer, the resultant will be 2 more. That will contribute to 2. That log thing will contribute to 2. And then if the difference is 6, so let's say it is 70 and 6, so 64. It will contribute, so the difference is 6, so delta is 6. If the delta is 6, it will contribute to 1. And one last one, you maybe 70 and 60. If the difference is of 10, it is going to contribute to 0.4, and we'll see how we can use this information. So if the difference between them is 0, you add 3 more, so that will become 73. If the difference between them is 2, you add 2 more. Difference between them is 6, you just add 1, only 1. And difference is 10, you add 0.4. So why are we talking here? So let's say that it was 70 and or let's not take 70 because 70 is already written here. Let's take another number. Let's say I have the situation where it is 80 and 84. So I would say the difference is 4. So difference, if it were 2, you would have added 2. Difference 6, you would have added 1. The difference is 4, you will add somewhere between 1 and 2. So the answer would be somewhere like 84 plus, not minus, so plus something like 1.5, 1 point something. So 85 point something will be your answer. So if you're given choices A, B, C, D, you can clear cut say, oh, this is 85 point something, this is 88 point something, this is 82 point something, this is my answer. And that is all. So let's practice on that. So let us say you have two sound sources, one is 100 and the other one is 107. And the options here are something like I don't know, thinking here loud. So let's say it is A is 102, B is 100.7, and C is 105.6, and D is 110. What do you think? I mean, come on. So the see. Oh, I made a mistake. Sorry. What I meant to say is 100 plus 93. That's what I meant. Yeah, 93. So I'm saying, okay, what if the decibels were 193? So I'm saying, okay, what is your closest match to the answers given here? Difference is 7. So remember, if the difference were 6, you would have added 1. So it would have been, if this was 94, the answer would be 101 because that would have contributed to 1 extra decibels. But since, and if the difference were 10, you would have added 0.4. So if this was 190, the answer would have been 104, 100.4, sorry, 100.4. But since we need 7, it has to be somewhere between there. Then I'll say, okay, I would rather go for this. Maybe it is not exact match, but it is very close to my approximation out there. This is not even possible. It can never be more than 103. If this was 100, this was 100, it would be 103. So these two are not even possible. So out of the given choices, this is what you will go for. So let's try one of the questions, which is from NSEP 2023 exam paper. And the question says, when the speaker S1 is turned on, the sound intensity at that point P is 80 decibels. When the speaker S2 is switched on, it is 85 decibels. Now, how much is the intensity when both are simultaneously turned on? What do you think? I need the answer in 5 seconds. I'll let you read one more time and then I'll count to 5. Okay. 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1, go. Let's see. So remember, if the difference is 0, it adds 3 to the higher intensity or the sound level, sorry. If the difference is 2, it adds 2. If the difference is 6, it adds 1, and the difference is 10, you add 0.4. Now, what is the situation here? The situation here is 85 and 80. How much is the difference? The difference is 5. So it is somewhere here. So we are looking for something between these two. So the intensity would be one between 1 and 2 more than this number. So 1 and 2 more than this number is, wow, that's it. No calculation needed, nothing. And again, I will encourage you, whatever I've taught you today, you sit down and work on a plain paper. And I've made many videos on different strategies. One of those videos was talking about the plain paper strategy. So what is that strategy? The strategy is you just take a piece of plain paper and you take a pen. So all you have with you is these two things. So you have a pen, you have a paper, nothing else, no books, nothing. And you scribble out your thoughts. So you write down, you derive what we did today, and that's how you will get more insights into it. So the simple trick here is, I'm telling you the trick again, but you have to know the reason for that. If the difference in the intensities is 0, then you add 3 to whatever that number was. If the difference is 2, then it contributes 2 more to the higher one, because see, if it is 85 and 80, to 85 you're adding something, it has to be more than 85. So how much? Between 6 and 2 it's 5. So between 1 and 2 some number, so something between 8.6 and 8.7, that is the only number available. So think about it. This is impossible. This is impossible. Scenario is not possible. So 85, 88 is impossible. If you had 85 and 85, it would have been 88, right? Now, out of these two options, this matches because of this number. And that is all. Now, if you like this video, please, please, please like, subscribe, and share this video. And also do come back for more such content here. Now, by the way, we have launched the full physics mastery course 2025. It will cover the entire 11th and 12th syllabus for Olympiad, NSEP, JEE, NEET, your board exams. So full syllabus here for from 11th and 12th. It has been divided into 5 modules. Where the first module here is already over. So we started this course in the month of July. So the first module has been completed. We will start on 9th of September. We are starting this module. Now, since you missed this, we are not going to charge you fees for this. Every module was 2,500 rupees. So 2,500 times 5. So these are 2 more modules, total 5 modules. 4 and 5 are 12th grade. 1, 2, 3 are 11th grade syllabus. So each module is 2,500. Total fees was 2,500 times 5, which is 12,500. Since this is over, we'll not charge for that. So we'll charge for only 4 modules. So 2,500 times 4 is 10,000. But you will still get the recording of this free. And trust me, you can cover up. It's going to be easy for you. So now, what are the prerequisites for this? And I always say willingness to learn, commitment to hard work, and Josh. It's not like I'm not strong with mechanics or I find electricity difficult. Should I go for Olympiads? Yes, you should, as long as you have your commitment and Josh. So please come over if you have these 3 prerequisites. Now there's also a 20% discount going on, so I'll show you how to use that. So if you go to Vedantu website, you go to courses, click on courses, you go to Olympiad, and you go for full physics mastery module 2, 3, 4, 5 plus module 1 recording. Click on that, grade 9th or 10th, 11th, wherever you are. So get started, and you can see the price here is 10,000 rupees because 2,500 times 4. But there's an offer, so view all offers, and you write here get 20. So get 20 without any spaces, lowercase, uppercase, doesn't matter. You apply there, and the price would drop to 8,000. And also there's a link at the bottom here in the description. You can go to that link and you will be able to avail the discount that way also. Now, obviously, we have got so many gold medals, silver medals, medals, and I have spoken about these students who we are very proud of. And one day I would like your picture here. So encouraging you to join that paid course. If not, then at least keep connection with me via this YouTube channel. So we are getting so much of quality content here. We are committed to make everybody, every student learn the higher level physics, maths, whatever is your passion. Vedantu Olympiad School is here for you. So see you soon. Keep up the high Josh. I'll be back soon. Bye bye.